Okay, thank you so much for joining in. This is Radio Kartab Friday at 5 p.m. for all of you. A channel which intends to make a difference in the society, which brings to you every fortnight change makers from the society. And this Friday, we have Atypical Advantage. Thank you so much, Komal and Vidhi, for joining us. Komal and Vidhi are representatives from Atypical Advantage, India's largest inclusive platform to generate livelihood for persons with disabilities. We welcome Ms. Vidhi Narula, Head of Content, student of Journalism and Mass Communication from Delhi.
Thank you so much for having us here.
We also welcome Ms. Komal Sharma, who is Head of Digital Marketing, MBA in Marketing from Nirvan University, Ahmedabad.
Thank you.
Lovely to see such young, beautiful, energetic faces working for a cause. It's really very, very inspiring for all of us. These are the dynamic young girls passionate about equitable distribution of opportunities to all. And now, with the SDG initiative gaining momentum at all fronts, they are working tirelessly towards SDG 10, which is reduced inequalities. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you so much to the audience as well for joining us today. So, in order to learn about Atypical Advantage and of course how we can be a part of this movement, I would put forward my first question. What is Atypical Advantage?
All right. So thank you so much for having us. First of all, I love the energy. And talking about Atypical Advantage, I'm glad that you put the context of the SDG goals because that truly captures the essence of what we're trying to achieve. It is in every which way to reduce inequalities that people with disabilities have been facing for a while. And the idea is to get the persons with disabilities the right kind of employment opportunities that they deserve. Honestly, just getting a right shot at generating a dignified livelihood, which we all deserve. And this could be any field. So it doesn't matter if you're a singer, dancer, musician, if you're a qualified person with disability looking for a corporate job, if you're a painter that has a disability, if you're an artisan who creates handicrafts, all of these diverse talents of people with disabilities are brought under one platform. And then we try to fix them up with the right kind of opportunities. And also on the flip side, the organizations and individuals who would want to hire people with disabilities but do not know where to find them. So just bridging that gap between people with disabilities who have certain skills and then the right kind of opportunities. So matching them, I think, would be what Atypical is all about.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how did you two get connected with Atypical?
So for me, I did an internship with Atypical when it was still in the forming stages. It was a part of my MBA internships. And then we parted ways because I had to finish off my course. Once I was done with the MBA, I got to know that Atypical was looking for a marketing manager. And since I had specialized in marketing, it was just serendipity. And so I joined them.
That's lovely. And how about you, Vidhi?
Same as Komal, I also started with an internship, and that's how I got to know in the nascent stages only when the website wasn't live and when the things were getting into place. So that's when I joined them, and I was working on blogs and content, and I've been doing that since then.
And that's lovely. And I'm sure you both are enjoying the journey because your faces are brimming with joy and satisfaction. So lovely. Thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
So please tell us more about how Atypical began, because I feel that Corona did give the entire world a makeover, and many organizations, many people who felt very, very strongly about certain issues could actually get together like-minded people and get their organizations started. So please do tell me about how Atypical Advantage started.
Okay, so as we know, the founder of Atypical Advantage is Vineet Saraiwala. So he had this brilliant idea, and he also noticed that the world needs such a platform where people with disabilities get the opportunity that they deserve. They need a platform that helps them showcase the skills, the talents that they have. So, as Komal also mentioned, that there was this huge inequality, huge gap between people with disabilities and the opportunity and chance that they got to actually be their own self in the through in front of the world. So the idea of this platform, or the idea of Atypical Advantage, was basically to help people with disabilities to have such a platform where they can list their product, they can list their paintings, they can also be listed under various talents that they have, and they can be hired for the same, so that they can get jobs, they can earn a dignified income, and also make most of their talents. So that's where it all began. And Vineet used to work with the Future Group earlier, where Vineet Saraiwala also has a disability. So he knew the challenges, he had first-hand experience. He knew the challenges that people with disabilities face. So I think I couldn't think of a better person to head this platform, to come up with this idea and to actually go through with it.
Right, very, very rightly put. Thank you so much. So, although you have talked much about atypical advantage and what you actually are working for, but I would still like to ask you if there is a mission and a vision that the organization has. Please do share.
The mission and vision of the organization of Atypical Advantage is very clear. We want to do is work towards making the world a better place for people with disabilities, so that they are not afraid to showcase their talents. They are not afraid to come forward and tell everyone that yes, they are skilled, they are talented in this specific arena, and they're not afraid to show that talent to the world, so that they have a voice and it just needs to be heard. So this platform will is only working towards making their voice heard, and to also just help them in any which way we can.
Right. So I am actually so glad that we could get together on this platform and discuss more about atypical advantage, because very frankly, I really feel that though the SDGs have been announced and United Nations wants everyone to work for it, but I think in our own areas, we all are trying to make a difference. And it is so beautiful to see people working for inclusion in the true sense of the word. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Okay, so how do you basically spread the word about atypical advantage? I mean, how do you talk to people about it? Because very frankly, if I were to speak about myself, I would not hesitate in saying that initially I was very, very hesitant to, interact with children and their parents because I would feel that I might say something that would offend them, whereas my intention was definitely pure. I really wanted to work with them. So how do you spread a word about atypical advantage?
Right. So I think the biggest tool that we have at hand for this is definitely social media. So if you see, we're quite active on all the social media handles, and the idea is not only to post consistently, but post stories, that highlight the change, that highlight what you're talking about. People not knowing what's the right thing to say, how should I approach it, what's the lens I should go with. So the stories that we put out, organizations like yours and ours, the things that we put out on social media ultimately set the tone for how people will move forward with this issue. And in addition to all the social medias, the other thing that we try to do is that we purposely seek out organizations and individuals like yourself who have the right kind of influence and the intentions to further the message that we're trying to achieve. So for instance, we recently did this live painting event at Galleria Mall in Bangalore. So it was there were six artists with disability who came out. The audience, the people there saw people with disabilities out and about in a public space, painting, showcasing their talent, and I think that is a really powerful imagery. So as long as we are putting out the right kind of messages, the stories of happiness and change and achievements, the message will keep spreading. And Vidhi could show you the video of the Galleria event also.
Yes, yes, we're very keen to see that video. Thank you so much. So as we could all see that, there were people of varied disabilities here together on one platform. So who all are basically the beneficiaries of your program?
The beneficiaries very clearly are people with disabilities, as they can, we have people who make products, various products like earrings, bags, and diyas, candle stands. So all of such creative products are listed under the store vertical on our platform. Then we have people like you just saw in the video. Also, we have artists who are just incredible with a brush in their hand. They can literally showcase, they can spread that message with their paintbrush. So we have such incredible artists and their artwork listed under the atypical art vertical of our platform, where you can buy paintings, you can explore artwork. We have over 15 categories in which the artworks are divided, so you can find that based on your suitability for your home, for your workspace, for cafes, for any requirement that you have. And then ultimately we have the talent categories, where people with disabilities are listed, and you can hire them, book them for an assignment, for a show, for an event, and they'll be more than glad to just showcase their talent and shine like they always do.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I think towards the end, we would request you to give us a tour of the website so we know where exactly to, hunt for what.
Definitely.
So,
And in a way, we can also see that other people are also beneficiaries for of this platform, because we get to buy such incredible products and paintings made by people with disabilities. And not just that, we're also contributing our bit towards making the world a better place and towards inclusivity.
right. Very well said. Thank you so much. So, another thing, of course, as we were discussing before the live session also, so sometimes it gets very, very difficult, to speak with parents, because especially parents who have got very young children and they've just sort of discovered that the child has some disability. So they are quite sensitive about the whole thing. So while you are interacting with uh, children or their parents, how do you go about it? Because your learning is going to be a learning for us also.
Right. I think that, to be honest, first of all, there's no substitute for just interacting with them, because sometimes we have all these concepts in our mind about how we should speak to them, what's the right terminology, and all of that sometimes just restricts us from just approaching the person and speaking with them. So a good place to start would actually be to approach them with a human lens, since they are just another human being like we all are. And if you just talk with them, you'll realize that sometimes you might end up making certain mistakes. You might use the wrong words. You might ask them a question that would be too personal, anything of that sort. But you wouldn't find them, because they get that a lot. So you wouldn't find them, being too offended or shutting off or something. They'll probably go ahead and tell you that, this is the right kind of terminology. I'd appreciate it if you would talk to me that way. And I think that is really the best way to learn, just to do it, make mistakes, learn, and then move forward with it. Because if we want to make everything inclusion and this dream of having them around us, like normal, like a normal commonplace thing, then we will have to get out of our comfort zone. And I think that sometimes we just use this as a comfort blanket, like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to offend that person, so maybe I'll just stay away. Which is not right. We need to get out there. We need to, if we can look it up and we can, get educated about the right terminology, of course it would be appreciated. But even if you're a person who has no idea whatsoever, if you just go up and talk to them, they will let you know what's the right thing.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, I mean, obviously taking cue from your point, which you shared that, I mean, actually having them around and making it a commonplace thing, nothing to have, you know, actually have some inconvenience to anybody or some, I mean, any ill feeling towards anybody, because we have a diverse society and we have people from all mindsets. So do you think it is easier for children nowadays with different abilities, I wouldn't say different disabilities, different abilities, to be accepted easily in the mainstream? Do you think there is a difference now in the society? Is it easy for them?
I'd say that we're getting there. I wouldn't say that, we've gotten to a point where everything is accessible, everyone is inclusive, everyone understands, they're aware. I think we're far from it, but I do see positive change. I mean, even just the fact that organizations like Atypical and many more in the disability sector that are coming up, we wouldn't think about these things if it was 20 years back or something. So I do think that we are moving towards the right kind of change. It is slow, definitely, but it's happening. And I think that's more important, the fact that we're moving towards it. For instance, we did a campaign during the Labor Day. So the concept was that 150 sales executives with disabilities were hired across 5 cities in India. So, and Vidhi will show you the video. These people had previously been rejected by employers since they had disabilities. And then their joy when they were finally accepted, it is something that, everyone should see. I would say that we have a long way to go in terms of getting readily accepted, but it's there, it's happening.
So we, yeah.
उस टाइम में मुझे खुशी होती है।
I feel very happy.
It feels very nice.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा।
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
मैनेजमेंट टीम जो था वो काफी सपोर्टिव था।
My confidential level increased.
मेरा बहुत हेल्प करते थे।
I feel good.
अच्छा लगता है।
It feels very bad.
तो उस टाइम मुझे काफी बुरा लगा।
वही फिर मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा।
Just watching the video gave me goosebumps. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is so encouraging. But still, I have one doubt in my mind, Being a mother of two girls, I feel that the society per se is not safe for typical children and typical people also. We keep hearing gory tales of inhumane behavior towards people. I mean, they're treated worse than animals. So do you think it is safer out there for atypical children? And I would also like to ask you if you train them in any way to cope with any such situations. Stranger danger, I would rather say.
I think at Atypical Advantage, we just strive on having that relationship with all the talents, as many people as we can. Like, we have divided verticals, and we have people, we have talent caretakers, talent managers. So we have people who are looking after that specific category. So I think recently we also had a meeting, a virtual meet only with dancers, and we had a mentor who looks after that category, and who, takes care of all the doubts and queries of whatever people have in that dancers category, who are listed as dancers on the platform. So when it comes to training them, I don't think that we actually have workshops or, train them in certain aspects, but all we can do as a platform is just make them believe and make them understand that we are here for them. So if they have any problems, if they have any troubles, anything that comes their way, so they know that they can fall back on us and they can reach out to us to help them. So just having their back and making them realize that yes, we are there for them, that's the most we can do right now.
I think that's the best that you are doing. So have you ever faced a challenge like that? Has such a situation ever come up in the past 1 year?
Thankfully, no, not really. My experience with Atypical Advantage has been more than amazing, and no such trouble or anything. All the people working here are amazing and great at what they do. I think the most amazing part of all of it is that we haven't actually met each other in person, but even through virtual meets, we feel very close to each other. So if we not and in our team meetings also, Vineet mostly, focuses on things which are not related to work. He says that all the whole week you just do work and focus on that. So take this 1 hour and talk about anything else other than work. We talk about the highlights of our week. We have regular meetups where we sometimes play games, or we talk about a passage or a poem or something like that. So that's very encouraging and that's very supportive. So the environment just is great.
Wow, that's amazing. But tell me one thing. I mean, you working with them, similarly, the people that you have listed on your website, people who are hiring them. So, of course, when we are talking about inclusion, I think more than the atypical people, typical people need to be counseled. So, are you taking care of that also in some way?
Right. I think it is vital for the typical people because, currently what's been happening is that we all have these stereotypes ingrained into our minds, and there is really no, exposure to dispel that. So that's where, the need to educate and counsel the typical people comes in, because ultimately when it comes to inclusive hiring, even the organizations, the recruiters, the people who hire, all of these are human beings. So until and unless they start to view the candidates with disabilities, at par with all the other candidates, and judge them for their skill set or their qualifications, rather than holding back because they think that they might not be as good, the problem would not change. So for this, we did a Break the Stereotype campaign, in which we actually roped in people from the corporate sector, people with disabilities, who had faced certain stereotypes while they were getting hired, and then they came out and they spoke about it themselves, just to tell people that maybe what you're thinking currently is not true, and you need to go out there, take the chance, hire the people, and test them out for yourself. So, Vidhi, will you show that video? I think it will really help.
My words are slow, but my thought rush as fast as yours.
I have done my certification course in business correspondence through virtually engaging in training sessions.
I work very well on the computers.
Aim to work as a professional with my skill of communication and people management. I am as good as any other.
Hats off and congratulations. And I really hope that from today, we are able to reach out to many more people and get many more people jobs. And actually, not for the sake of it, but actually we all begin to believe in the word inclusion, which I think is actually the need of the hour, not because it's a UN SDG, but because I think society is a place where everybody has a right to space, which typical people tend to sabotage. So, I mean, it's been lovely speaking to you. And as I can hear from you, your experience working with Atypical Advantage has also been wonderful. But still, I would like to know more about your internship and how and why you would encourage others to join in hands with you.
The experience obviously has been amazing. I mean, even more than what we learn in our respective fields, like Vidhi with the content, and I learn every day, I learn new things related to marketing. In addition to that, we learn a lot and learn and gain a lot in terms of perspective. So, like I previously said, that you might make mistakes, and that's how you learn. But it's really nice to work so closely with a whole community that is so underrepresented currently. It's really nice to just talk to them, listen to the stories, see how the change is happening. I think it's a very empowering place to be in, and I would highly recommend it to all of the people out there to work for this company.
Thank you. Vidhi, please give us your inputs.
I think obviously, as Komal said, it's a place where you have the space to make mistakes, to learn, to grow. That is because we have people who are counting on us, but who are also there to, pick up the slack if we make a mistake, if we do something wrong. So we have that space to actually make the mistake and learn from it. We don't have someone who's, watching over us 24/7. Okay, did you complete this or not, did you do this or not? We actually have the ownership of what we're doing. So we know that this is our work and we have to get this done in time. So that and I don't know if you know or not, but Atypical Advantage mostly has younger people working for them. So the whole team is very young. We're students, some are recently graduated. So it's very interesting to see people our age, to work with them and to actually learn from each other. So I think saying that it's a great place to work in, which is just an understatement. You just have to join and see, because we're also seeing the change from our own eyes. We're a part of this revolution and we can see how it is affecting people and how it can bring the change that it desires.
Right. I totally agree with you, because I did visit your website and I was also very keen on pressing the volunteer button, but I thought we'll wait for this chat session today and then I'll do that. So talking about your website, and because you're a content creator also for Atypical Advantage, I would request you to take us through your press releases, your blogs, and later please tell us more about your website also.
Just a second.
So there was definitely a host of young dynamic people like you who are all working for Atypical Advantage. It was very, very encouraging.
Thank you.
Komal, can you please share your screen? I think there's something wrong with mine.
Sure, Vidya, I'll just do that. Give me a second. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
So Vidhi, I'll open up the blog right here. These are amazing stories that Vidhi posts. Beautiful writing. And then over here, we have all the categories. So inclusive hiring, you can post and find jobs here. Photographers, graphic designers. So the companies can post in their jobs, or if you're a person with disability, you can find jobs. And then we have performing artists. Really interesting dancers, I must say. And then service professionals. This is the store. Really beautiful things created by persons with disabilities. And this is the art vertical. So right now you can see the Ganesh Chaturthi theme is going on. Yeah. That's about it. And if you want to sign up as a talent, you can sign up here. Or you can find a talent also. That's about it.
And the volunteer tab as well. Please show that also.
Yeah.
We can see a contribute tab here.
Yeah.
You can see the volunteer tag when you go to the home page. It will be at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Here we are, volunteer with us.
Right. Do you want me to get you started?
Why not? Please do that. Or I'll do that right after
please do.
We get off this conversation.
People can offer to volunteer in any of these categories which are mentioned. Whichever field you think is suitable for you, you can just apply, and you can just help us out with work.
It'll actually be a great experience, I'm sure. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much. I am so glad to be a part of this conversation today. I am so grateful to both of you to have joined us today. And I really hope together we can really spread this word around and make a difference.
Definitely.
You so much.
It was a great experience being here and talking to you.
Truly.
So any last takeaways that you have, or anything that you want to share with the audience?
I just think that as long as you have that perspective of sensitivity and inclusion in your mind, you don't have to be, afraid of talking to people, of going up to them and actually approaching them. So just think that they're also human beings, and don't talk to them in a way which would hurt you if someone talked to you in that way. If you just keep that in mind, then you're good to go. You can talk to anyone without offending them, and you can be as polite as you want.
Right. Komal, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I think that it's really important that we keep conversations like these flowing so that, it becomes a part of the mainstream and people understand that inclusion really needs to come now big time. And of course, what Vidhi said, that these are humans just like us, so there's no need for us to create a fuss about it. It's all in the name of humanity.
Right. I think most importantly, we actually need to break free of our own cocoons and actually, make an effort, because I think more than anything else, it's our laziness which stops us from taking action or actually getting, into something constructive.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. It was really very, very inspiring speaking to you, looking at your beautiful, lovely, shining faces. It is very, very inspiring. Once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.